Hmm. For some reason I can't get my sound to appear on in game, but whatever. I'll start here in a few minutes. So, I have a couple friends that are uh, thinking about quitting Tera because they're getting frustrated with not knowing how to progress really, and I thought I'd make a guide to kind of alleviate that and go over that. Um, it'll talk about how to get uh, your Apex to get into base Frost Metal, to progress from Frost Metal to Stormcry to Heroic, tell you how to get Golden Talents, where to acquire them, how to get Silver Talents, how to get Gold, and a little bit of some extra stuff. So from as soon as you hit 65, you're going to be greeted with a red quest in High Watch, and you will go ahead and follow that quest to completion, and it'll give you all this stuff. It'll give you your basic Guardian gear, and then it'll give you special upgrade items to go ahead and upgrade that into Frost Metal. Well, actually, it'll give it like +6, and then you'll have to. I think it gives you this stuff to enchant it to Frost Metal as well. But if not, it costs like a golden talent or something. It's something easy. And yeah, you get basic Frost Metal that way. It also gives you enough stuff, I think, through the Island of Dawn quest to get your jewelry and upgrade them into Vellum accessories. I think that's right. And from there, you can start the your Apex quest. Um, the Apex quest is depends on like the class for difficulty, but it's actually fairly simple as long as you bring like some health potions. Because I know there's a couple fights like there's a warrior that just kicks your ass uh, to start with, and then the next time you encounter them, they drop HP uh, consumables. But yeah, just bring some health potions, and you can get your Apex pretty easily. And from there, you can actually um, start gearing by yourself without the quest line holding your hand and getting it. However, to get from Stormcry or uh, Heroic, you'll need materials, which will be uh, Golden Talents and a bunch of other random shit with uh, you can get through metamorphic tokens. Pretty much everything you can buy with metamorphic tokens, besides Veilth Rock and dragon skulls, but that is a while from there. The best way to get these golden talents are Island of Dawn, the low tier bands. Uh, every 10 of them you finish, you turn in the quest, the daily quest. It gives you a box. Each box has 7 golden talents, plus some shitty mats that you'll probably just use to dismantle and get metamorphic tokens. Another good one is Trade Broker, which sounds redundant, but when you are higher in level or higher in gear, it's pretty viable to just buy them from the Trade Broker. When your gear is pretty high, again, you can go through dungeons and do, they give you amplifier boxes, and those drop like, I don't know, 40, 50 gold and silver talents, sometimes with a ruby, sometimes with a shitty amplifier, but it's there. Your daily quests, like, not the top one, but these daily quests gives you golden plates, silver plates. That doesn't really apply, but these amplifier boxes are really good. What else are another source of them? Strong boxes. If you have keys, which you can really only get from Reward Imperium or through like really lucky elite stuff, I guess. But strong boxes give a shit ton of them. I think there's an event going on right now that gives them like 6,000. And loot boxes, if you buy EMP or you buy EMP from somebody else, loot boxes actually give a fair amount of golden talents as well. Personally, if you're a low level player, you're going to be doing Island of Dawn. Like, there's no way around it. It's part of an MMO. You're going to be grinding. So that's probably where you're going to be at until you hit kind of high Stormcry. You're going to be doing Island of Dawn. But when you get higher, like, Trade Broker is a really good source. It's just so easy just to buy them. I think that's it for golden talents. We'll get Derek's and plates later on, but that's it for the talents. Silver talents, really the only best way to get them. Like, you can do the strong boxes, I guess, and you can buy them in the Trade Broker, I guess, but just queue Battlegrounds. Like, you get so much shit from just doing Battlegrounds. Silver talents is 3,000. Is it like 140,000 for win or something? It's a ton of silver talents just doing like a simple Corsairs. Easy. That's literally the only way I recommend getting silver talents. Like, you can buy them on the broker, like I said, but it's just easy just to do a Corsairs. Every class could do Corsairs pretty easy. Even Valks, which suck at PvP, you just do ladders. For gold, like if you're trying to acquire gold, you could do the EMP to gold, because like EMP is like 1 to 110 ratio right now. It's pretty high. That's if you're going to pay to win. Obviously, a lot of people are really bad at, like, really against that, so I don't recommend it because it's kind of shitty. I wouldn't spend EMP for gold on this game right now. Trade Broker. I know that sounds repetitive. People say play the market, but there's other ways. Like, when you do get high in gear, like I'm telling you about, just sell the mats you're not going to use. People want golden talents like all the time because they're making alts and stuff. Sell your golden talents, sell your silver talents, like anything. Trade Broker is pretty viable. I know there's a fee right now. If you don't want to play the broker per se, just do like trade chat. Easy money. If you're starting out, Guardians will probably be your best money maker, and it's pretty slow if you're starting out. So it's still kind of shitty. But honestly, when you're low in gear, you don't really hurt for gold. Like most of your shit is golden talents, not gold. Uh, but yeah, guardians if you need gold. It's also good for emeralds or diamonds, which you're gonna need. So do guardians because 40 a day on a character, pretty easy. It's about 10,000 gold. And if when you're higher gear, you can do that in like 10 or 20 minutes. In lower gear, it's kind of really slow. So, like I said, I wouldn't do this if you're low gear, but some people still do it. So, waste of time, in my opinion. Basilisks in Sienna Canyon. So, we're going to go to Sienna Canyon real quick to show you what I'm talking about. But basically, it's the metamorphic tokens. And, like, the Basilisk drops so much shit. A lot of people don't think about it because they're like, oh, that's just a way to level. Basilisk is a way to level. It's really good for leveling, actually. But most people don't think about it. So we'll pop Baldur's Tears real quick, get that going. I'll change this to this. Okay, so skill advancement, good. Paladin, whatever, it's 100 gold. Gold, strongbox, strongbox, coupon. It didn't give me anything that low. Oh, nothing what I was going for. Big oof. But yeah, it'll give you like, if you're lucky, Veilfrock. If what I usually try to go for is the copper glass because that gives a shit ton of metamorphic tokens, and you will disassemble them all and then sell the metamorphic tokens. I know it doesn't sound like much at 10 silver, but uh, yeah, it's a lot, especially within like an hour. And you're already doing this if you're leveling, so it's like it's whatever. Alright, so it did drop something good. I got really bad luck with this. Like usually it drops a little more than that, but I'll show you. So now we'll go back to High Watch. I'll dismantle this, and you'll see that it's decent. It's not a lot, but when you're doing it for an hour and you're pulling more than just two of them like that, it'll add up pretty quick. When you get a Veil Rock, you get 6,000 instead of 600 from Copper Class.
You should get back to your duty.
That's 120 gold just right there from that little bitty part. And then on top of that, you get the 250 for the shit drops. I recommend it if you're going to farm it though. You put everything in like your bank or your inventory or your pet inventory because it does take up a lot of space. Anyways, back on track. Ways to get gold. Everybody knows fishing. I know it's not a secret. Now, a lot of people don't like to talk about it on stream.
Who I talk
I
to?
get it, but I'm gonna do it anyways because it's a thing. Fishing, people AFK fish and use stuff to fish for you. Uh, that's about that's what I got from fishing, and that's about 6 to 8 hours, I think. And I don't even use like a good rod. I use I think it's Exer Metal 2, and then I have these worms and stuff that I got from critical crafting and whatever. I just threw in there, but I'm on my Lancer doing it right now, and I have since the he's my armor crafter. He has the bait 5, but I was using like bait 3. What do I got? No, it's wrong one. Yeah, I was using bait 3. Even bait 2 will work. Like just set yourself up to have to be able to craft bait out of fish fillets, and you'll be good. People put a lot of money in their fishing rods, but it's a farming method for me. So it's like I can't. I don't think it's viable.
Tell me
I don't
how
know.
to help.
I don't fish though, so
I foresee
like
us meeting again.
not very often. So. Maybe higher tier rods will really speed that up. I don't know. Not the person to talk to for fishing. Anyways, other ways to get gold is dungeons. And I know that sounds stupid. I know that sounds like it's a waste of time. But when you're higher level, when you have higher gear, it's it's just something to do. Especially when they have events. People have or they have double drop weekends or half coin weekends. Run those fucking dungeons. Like oh my god, I think over GVH, like I didn't even get to spam it with my guild because they had a static going, but I spammed it with the LFGs and I didn't have a bunch of coins because I only had the stuff that In Mass gave out to us. But I made probably like 400k off just selling diamonds and the runs themselves. Like it was ridiculous, and
Are you new around here?
you need to run that top dungeon because like when you hit level 70, you need the skill advancements, you need the jewelry, you need the halidams, the relics.
Return
This
to
is what I have
its
from
story.
that dungeon, and this is the leftover that I couldn't afford to enchant more. Like I had tier 3, or no, I had tier 2s, and I got to tier 3. So, and this is all pretty much tier 1. I think I got a couple tier 2s in there, but the dungeon event this last weekend was pretty great. Run that shit. Like, obviously you won't be able to run the top shit if you're still gearing. I know this is the beginner to intermediate guide, so just run the top content you can do because diamonds drop in
Have I got a
pretty
story
much
for you?
every dungeon. What is it? Yeah, 441 and up. So even what 435 even has some. I know I got a shit ton from Broken Prison the other day because we were running Broken Prison for my skill advancements that I need in Ground Bash. But like dungeons are great. The and you can sell the metamorphic tokens too. Like when there's like an what was it, Red Refuge hard mode, it gives a shit ton of materials to turn into metamorphic tokens. It's same concept as Basilisk. Basilisk is just like an always running thing because like it's open world. But like dungeons are really like the best way to get gold at the moment. You could play the trade broker like Kamazuma, but face it, there's like maybe 1 to 2% that
For
can
the
do that.
Federation.
You could sell golden talents, but like still grind. The best way to have gold is to uh, run dungeons, in my opinion. You can sell the diamonds. You can sell um, anything that drops there, pretty much. Plus, like I know people run GVH for the right piece map, and then VP for the left piece. Those treasure maps are pretty fucking good. Even if you don't use them, like they're at least worth 100K, and people will buy them because people want their parties to have them. It says not tradable, but people have been throwing them in the guild bank. Like they'll join a guild, throw them in the guild bank, and then leave. It's a way to do it. Uh, okay, so I'm gonna touch on the Tera reward level, and I didn't think I was gonna do this, but I'm tier 10, obviously. I've spent money. I'm not gonna lie, spent quite a bit of money before I got married on this game, and I was like tier 7. However, I grinded my way from tier 7 to tier 10, like 95% grind. I did still spend some money, but it wasn't like near what I spent before I was married. Uh, Tier 7 to tier 8 is huge. Tier 8 to tier 9 is like double what you at, and tier 9 to tier 10 is insane. The way I did it was Earth, like ultra rapid fire turbo time or whatever event. Every single day that event was on, run all your characters you have, even even on different servers, which I know there's only 2 right now. But was it 120 points per top tier island add-on and like ultra rapid fire turbo time? Uh, Even when Slayers were bottom, you could just melt that shit. Like your cooldowns are non-existent. So definitely run that when that event is on. People do other things when that event's on, but if they're not tier 10, I think they're stupid. Like I don't want to sound like conceited, but that is like the best thing you could do at that event because it gives you so much uh, uh, reward level. And once you hit tier 10 or even tier 9, you get a shit ton of these daily credits. It gives me 60 at tier 10, and it gives me 200 if I do the exclusive dungeon. It takes like 4 or 5 minutes. Every week, I think every week in 2 days, I can buy 50 strongbox keys just by doing this and this. It's insane. And like I made quite a bit of gold off the strongbox event, but it wasn't enough to keep up with my relic halidom expenses because it was insane. Because it costs a shit ton to upgrade them. But yeah. Show crit factor. Okay, my crit factor right now is 67. 58 plus 67. Uh, hmm. That's what I have as my setup right now. But anyways, for as far as golden talents, golden plates, golden derricks, silver talents, golden or silver siglos, silver plates. If you're struggling with that, and I know a lot of new players are, join a fucking guild. Like, I some people are really insistent about being solo players. Join a guild. Just do it. If you join a guild, you're gonna have the experience that everybody else has. You'll have access to people who can craft that shit for you, and then like once you hit max best in slot, then you can leave the guild. Just get what you need first, because you need a shit ton of golden derricks to get to storm or to get from frost tunnel to stormcry, and then you need way more fucking golden plates than you'll ever fucking think that you'll need to get to heroic and to finish heroic and to get your jewelry because I guess the jewelry needs plates now. So definitely join a guild. A lot of times, guildies will ask you to provide the crafter's cures, but right now, people are pretty good on dungeon delver coins and will buy crafter's cures pretty easily with them. So they might just ask you to buy or pay so much per crafter's cure. If I could recommend something to new players, even if you're starting out and you think this is the only class I'm ever going to play, I really recommend you creating a tank and another DPS class, because preferably a Lancer and a Valk, because the Lancer has a lot of cheese mechanics that like will save your party, and it's pretty good to get into queues, as in there is a constant need for a tank. And so like if you want to BP spam, BP with your Lancer. It's so fucking dumb. You could just Divine Protection, second boss, DPS through it. Blue Shield, final boss, DPS through it. The party's gonna love you. It's a lot of fucking. It's super clean. It's super nice. It's fluent. It's kind of ping dependent, but it's a tank. It's gonna get you into queues. It's gonna get you into LFGs, even if you're shitty. As long as you can aggro shout and pop your buffs when you're supposed to. Lancers aren't known for their DPS, besides fucking Daniel. Yeah, just I recommend getting a Lancer because it'll open up a lot of windows for you. As far as another DPS, personally, because I'm a Valk main, I recommend Valk because as far as I know, it's probably the best class for soloing the DPS. When you get into Stormcry, you can do Basilisks, and I'll show you real quick that how easy base Stormcry weapon you can farm Basilisks pretty easy. I showed you it on my heroic route, but I don't think that's as impressive because it's, best in slot. A lot of people don't have that, and if you're trying to farm for metamorphic tokens, I think with Basilisk, I think Valk is the best for that. So here's my gear. It's Stormcry with diets because I have a bunch. I think even without them, you're all right. So actually, I'll show you how to get there because a lot of people don't know how to get there. You go to, is it Frontier or Elena? It's Elena. Okay. So you go to Elena, whatever the fuck it's called. Once you get here, you go in the town and out the gate. You follow the trail down. All the way down. That tree that is in the middle of the road right here. Okay, there's a cliff right above him. So if you have Tolpar, which is the basic flying mount that you get with your Guardian gear, you'll be able to fly up here and stop. If you have Elite, Travel Journal, add location. I added it already. You'll just be able to move here. If the Basilisks are steady, that means nobody's here. That means you're okay to farm it. If it's not, you need to switch channels. Here. Pretty easy, pretty self-explanatory, but a lot of people are fucking rude and fucking jump in on people's shit. Which I know mine's a PvP server, but usually they're not doing it to PvP. They're usually doing it to steal mobs, which is kind of shitty. So anyways, as a Valk, which is what I recommend this on, what you want is this, which is the Brutal Dream Flash, and then this, Restorative Maelstrom. And ideally, you want Shining Crescent damage. Everything else is just extra. Rune Burst is nice too. Okay, so, oh, and you want Baldur's Tears cooldown, which is this one. So you'll go ahead and aggro all the bombs in one portion. If you pull too many, they'll aggro leash back to their spots and you'll lose them all. So go ahead, get them all together. Maelstrom, charge, dash, Shining Crescent, frag, Maelstrom, bite, dash, Shining Crescent, Dream Flash. Dream Flash's damage isn't split, so it does double damage knockdown, and it always crits because they're knocked down from Shining Crescent. When you're fighting a lot of them, Dream Flash actually does more damage than Shining Crescent. Because it always crits, and it always does a lot of damage. Yeah, and then you'll Baldur's Tears and go to the next set. And again, I'll show you my gear so you know it's pretty doable. Yes, I know I have a dragon. It doesn't really matter for fucking mobs. Okay. Magic attack is pretty much all you need. Yeah. So you run full damage. I think I have CDR on this one because it's an alt valve. Blood flower points. A lot of people, if they're gonna do this all the time, they'll go ahead and instead of my CDR roll that I have equipped, they'll run either crit power, which is the ideal roll to have in all cases, or damage with it, most aggro. It's a tank roll, but a lot of times they want that for doing mobs and such. I recommend using Strong Canaphora. I have Brave and Knocked On just because I was doing a dungeon with this earlier. But Strong Canaphora is a good way to use them. If you feel you're too slow still, you can use a Bravery. It doesn't matter. I think people have enough Canaphoras and Braveries to know what they're going to ever do with them. But yeah. And then we go to High Watch. Sell this real quick. And I don't know if that'll conclude the guide or not.
I will think about it. Where are we again?
370 gold from one pull. See? Pretty good.
Return to me with that story.
What else? I guess I'll just summarize at this point. So if you're starting out for if you're starting out, get a 65, get to High Watch, get all your Guardian gear, do the quest line, follow it, get Frost Metal, get your Bellum jewelry, go ahead, do your Apex, then start getting ready for the grind, I guess. For golden talents, you'll want to do Island of Dawn, low tier BAMs, because it gives 7 golden talents per box. That's when you're starting out. For silver talents, you'll do Battlegrounds. There's really not an option for that. For gems, you'll be doing Guardians. For gold, you'll be doing Guardians if you need them, but really you shouldn't need too much gold starting out. When you start progressing, you'll be able to do higher dungeons, so you'll be running all the dailies that give you amplifier boxes and golden plates. That'll be your a big source of your golden talents right there, because amplifier boxes generally give about 40 to 50 golden talents per box. Usually you don't get lucky with an amplifier. Silver talents, you'll still be doing Battlegrounds. There's not really a better option than that. When you get higher gear, Guardians are actually better for gold because you'll be doing them quicker. When you get best slot, they take like 10 or 20 minutes to do all 40 of them. When you're starting out, it takes like a couple hours to do all 40 of them. So definitely take advantage of your gear. And when you get really high in gear, you'll be doing Trade Broker as your main source of golden talents, your main source of gold. Not playing the market per se, but selling the mats you don't need anymore. You could be doing Basilisks for Metamorphics, or Dungeons for Metamorphics, and Diamonds. You could sell Diamonds. I really recommend just selling them. Like, if you can find a buyer, do it. But the market's pretty saturated in Diamonds, honestly. Like, my Diamond buyer quit buying them because he's at like 500 Diamonds, and there's nothing that uses them anymore. So, unless you know somebody who's going to level an alt, you probably just sell them to the merchant. What else? Oh, dungeons and double drops and Delver coins. So Delver coins, when you hit a decent gear score, like say Stormcry +9 or Heroic base, then you'll want to go ahead and buy the recipes for golden derricks, golden plates, silver siglos, silver plates, if you haven't already done so. But that is really the time you want to buy it, because you'll start to have enough gold to be able to afford it reasonably without putting yourself in a crutch. Otherwise, just have your guildies do it. Like I said, Delver coins are pretty common now because they just give Delver coins for everything. And so crafters' gears aren't worth hardly anything. Oh, but for the dungeons, like, definitely take advantage of double drops. Even like low tier double drops, take all you can get. Diamonds drop in anything 435 and up. I think you have to check the exact dungeon you're running, but double drops huge because you can get a shit ton of gold from the gems, from the diamonds, and from the materials it drops. A lot of times you don't even need the stuff it drops anymore. People just bank it and hold on to it. Just dismantle the shit and sell the metamorphic tokens. We can't buy field stones with them anymore, so just sell them. I think that's about it. So I'm going to go ahead and conclude the guide. Thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time.